Welcome back, neighbors of Richardson, Texas. My name is Griffin Thomas, of course, and I own the pest control company out of Plano, Texas, Preferred Pest Management, just 5 minutes up the road from you guys. And today I actually just wanted to talk real quickly about just some of the most common wasp that we see here in the Richardson, Texas and Plano, Texas area. This, of course, isn't by any means all of them. We deal with many different kind, but these are kind of the most common ones. And I wanted to address this because some of the ones that we tend to deal with aren't aggressive and there's no reason for you guys to actually be afraid of them. Now, part of what we do at Preferred Pest Management is still knock down these nests just because no one likes them flying around and getting in the house and getting in the pool and everything else. So we try to do what we can to mitigate that activity, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But what are some of the most common types of wasp in Richardson, Texas? So the most common one that we see by far is the paper wasp. Paper wasp are super common. And if you're wondering, well, like, what is a paper wasp, Griffin? Well, I'll go ahead and get it pulled up for you. So when you think about a paper wasp, as soon as I pull this up, you guys probably kind of understand, what I'm referring to, right? The one that tends to have more of that yellow and brown look to it. It's not necessarily going to be black though. When it looks black instead of that brownish color that you see right here, that's when you're actually dealing with more so of what are yellow jackets. And what are yellow jackets? What's the difference? We actually seen one in this, but I'll actually get it pulled up here, and I have no idea why my thing is typing in all caps, but we'll just leave it alone. So see how this one is very much so like black and yellow versus the other one, it was mostly kind of brown and yellow. That's the biggest difference, which is actually one of the other most common ones that we see. Right below that is yellow jackets. They tend to be a lot more aggressive. Usually paper wasps, while they are aggressive, they tend to be underneath of like eaves and sometimes underneath children's like play areas. That's why one of our most serious things that like we take serious at Preferred Pest Management as parents ourselves. I have a 2-year-old little girl and a 5-year-old little girl at the time of doing this video in 2025. Our other technician has a daughter and a son as well. Like, we're parents, like we understand like how serious it is. My daughter is super allergic to just stinging insects of all kinds, so we take this very seriously. We take a look around any playing equipment just to make sure that there are no type of wasp nests or anything like that. And then the last one is mud daubers. So a lot of people get mud daubers confused with yellow jackets, and when we take a look at it, it's pretty easy to understand why, obviously, because they're both black and yellow. The biggest difference is of course they tend to be mostly black. So when you see them mostly black with just a little bit of yellow, more times than not, you're going to be dealing with a mud dauber. Now, obviously, if you're dealing with like an all black wasp, there's a whole bunch of different wasps. Sometimes it could be a mud dauber. Other times it could be what's referred to as like the great black wasp. Like, there's very many different ones out there. But if you see a little bit of yellow on it, more times than not, you're going to be dealing with a mud dauber, and most of them will not sting you whatsoever. So you no longer have to live your life in fear anytime you see those building those. Anytime you look and see that little mud nest and you see kind of one of those flying around it, you don't have to live in fear anymore. Those literally all their entire life cycle is they kill an insect, usually something like a spider or a beetle, something like that. They kill it, they wrap it in with the egg. If you ever actually take one off of your home and bust it up, you'll see actually the egg in there, and you'll even see the little dead bug in there. Usually where what'll happen is as they crack out of that egg, they'll eat that bug as their first meal, and then boom, they go off and do it again and again and again. So in a way, they're actually a form of natural pest control and pollinator as well. Most people don't understand that most wasps and things of that nature are pollinators as well. If they didn't sting us as much, we probably will leave them alone like we do bees. But we got to do what we got to do. And at Preferred Pest Management, we actually have a repellent spray also that we spray that, while I tell everybody up front, it does not just get rid of wasps. Unfortunately, there's nothing on the market that will just completely get rid of wasps. Combination of keeping the nest knocked down and spraying that repellent, it tends to knock down the wasp activity considerably. So if you're in the Richardson, Texas area, Plano, Texas, Dallas, Texas, anywhere in the DFW Metroplex, and you need some wasp care, wasp control, whatever the case may be, or any pest control service, feel free to give us a call at Preferred Pest Management. I'll leave a link to this page as well as just our, main homepage down below. Every page on our website actually has a contact form on it as well. So if you want to actually read this full article that I have on our website that I just published about a few weeks ago, like I said, I'll make sure to link it down in the description box down below. And if you fill out the form or give us a call directly in our call now button, we'll respond very quickly as long as you're calling during our business hours, Monday through Friday. And if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and do so, and I'll see you guys in the next video.